Hey, welcome back to our third segment of What's Going On, The Experience. And Ryan V. Introduce my man in the middle. He ain't Money in the middle. He Mac in the middle.
We got Mac in the middle, a.k.a. Mac Daddy. I know him as Nick McErlin. Grew up with this guy. We were actually in the same graduating class back in high school, but went on to take the Ryan Show, our comedy show, to a whole nother level. And this man took that vehicle directly into the sports world, works with Hugh Jackson, part of the Hugh Jackson Foundation. But most important, he's now a writer with Fadeaway World. Okay. So this is a collaborative effort. The three of us are going to put together our top 5 starting 5 of all time. NBA, real basketball. And Mac and I, we get into it all the time on LeBron, Jordan takes. So I'm really, really looking forward to this. But without further ado, Nick, it's so good to have you here, my brother. I got to give it up for you.
Yes, man. Thanks for showing up, Billis.
Oh, man, I'm so glad to be here. It's a little overdue. I'm so glad to be here on What's Going On Fox Sports. Love the show. Nate, you're awesome. Ryan, you know we go way back. Got mad love for you. So let's get into it.
Hey, man, so Ryan had told me he used to like Nate. So Max coming to the show, you got to put because we debate all the time basketball, right? So I started thinking, and I was like, damn, who? Because I didn't watch generations of basketball. You know what I mean? You know,
right.
70s, shit, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. I'm saying, well, damn, it's some good ball players. So I said, you know what? I just got to do what I think is cool. So this is my top 5. My starting 5. And I thought about this. So I went with the greatest center in the world, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, at my 5. At my 4, now he ain't going to score a lot of points, and I really don't give a shit because he's going to block everything that come prior to Jabbar. And that's the great Bill Russell.
Ooh.
At the 4 spot.
At the 4.
No, at the 5. At the 5. No, at the 4. At the 3, I got the one and only Dr. J.
Ooh, the great pick. Great pick.
At the 3.
My
the
man
one and
is
only.
picking Dr. J at the 3. Okay,
yes.
Let's see where he goes this.
Yes, but my backcourt has got to be my backcourt that I grew up with. The backcourt of backcourts, Walt Clyde Frazier and Earl of Pearl Monroe.
Ooh,
because Walt could play defense. He'll strip anybody like your boy GP. Are you with me? So I need somebody to play D. Earl can get it in. Doc could get you a good 20 and 30. I don't care if Bill don't score 1 point. I don't even care. But he will rebound. Before Dennis Rodman, it was Bill Russell in the rebound arena. And, of course, the big fella in the middle, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
It's a great starting 5, man.
That's mine. That's mine. I have to think about that.
I got 4 words for you, Nate. Stuck in the past.
I know.
Ages.
I know.
What about our young guys? Damn it.
I already preferenced that. Playboy, I preferenced me being in the past. So
man, I feel like it's almost ages. This is almost stepping on the throats of these young guys. Come on, man.
Mac,
I like it, though. I like it.
Mac, you up, Mac. You the guest. You up, Mac.
Oh, I'm up. All right. Well, I thought I was picking different players than you picked, but if I had to just pick my all-time starting 5, this is what it would look like. At point guard, nobody runs an offense like this man. Nobody can run a transition offense like this man. Give me Magic.
Okay, I can deal with that.
At 2, give me the greatest player of all time. Give me Michael Jordan.
Okay.
At the 3, give me the second greatest player of all time. Give me LeBron James.
Okay.
At the 4, and this man, he gets a little disrespected. He gets a little forgotten in these conversations. But give me Tim Duncan at the 4 spot.
Yeah, okay, I can see Timmy.
Yeah. All right. And since you picked Kareem, I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to pick a different center from you just because you picked Kareem. You can give me Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon.
Oh, okay.
No better footwork. Can play
No better footwork. No better.
He can turn around and hit that mid-range jumper with just smooth ease. And I know Shaq Daddy Diesel is going to be hanging out there somewhere, but I had a feeling Ryan would be picking him. So give me Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon.
That's a great pick because Hakeem with the shake and bake down low for a big man, it was phenomenal. And he will go with that left hand over them too. He shake and bake you and throw it up with that left. I'm like, damn.
And listen, I picked two great two great two-way players for my front court. If you look at Tim Duncan and Hakeem Olajuwon, they played great on both sides of the ball.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So that takes the pressure off of each of them on defense.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Ryan B, you up,
I love
Ryan.
it,
I
Nick.
like that, Mac.
I love it, Nick, but there's just one problem that I have with that all-time starting five, and that's what do you think is going to happen when you put the greatest player of all time, LeBron James, on a court with the second greatest of all time, Michael Jordan? Think about the chemistry that would go down between these two men. We all know that
I think it's unstoppable basketball. LeBron is a very selfless basketball player.
He needs to run the locker room. He needs to be in control. I don't know if you've ever seen LeBron number 2.
Ain't nobody running the locker room but Michael Jordan.
That's why I don't know if we could ever put those two together, not just on the court, but in any type of locker room situation. We're talking instant chemistry.
It's funny you guys said that because actually, I think the person that would run that locker room with all three, with your team, would be Magic Johnson. And I say that because Magic has an air of just calmness about him. He's not going to get, because I remember when they lost to Boston that one year, he was down in the dust, but he didn't get angry. He went back and did his thing and came back. So that was a good pick. But Magic, to me, will control that locker room because you're right. There's a bunch of egos.
He'll definitely
that's why my pick was the way it was because Bill Russell will control that locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Because
he's definitely a leader.
You see, so you need a leader. Despite that lineup, which is a great lineup, I think Magic will say, you know what, fellas, let's go get that ass.
He's certainly going to run things on the court. On the court, he commands an offense. He commands a team like nobody I've ever seen. I mean, if I wanted somebody running a fast break offense, give me or I die. Pick one guy to run my offense, or I die. Give me Magic.
Mm-hmm.
He's there. And you talk about a leader, a guy that has no reason to be stressed out. Imagine having 20 women waiting for you after each game.
Well, you could be
part of the equation.
You could be like Wilt. 100.
Exactly. You need like a Wilt Chamberlain, a Magic Johnson. You need one of these guys out there. So finally, it's up to my starting five. And I'm going to preface this by saying this is the greatest starting five of all time, guys. And there's a lot of reasons. It's because of the chemistry of this starting five. I built this impeccably because I know what's going down in the locker room. We need to make sure that the personalities all work together. If we're really going to have greatness on the court, it's got to start behind the scenes, right, guys? So that being said, at point guard, I've got Chris Paul. Paul, in my opinion, the greatest pure point guard of all time. He can play defense. He knows arguably one of the best defensive point guards of all time.
Okay.
Next to him, Kobe Bryant at shooting guard. And you're going to find out why I picked Kobe over Mike, because a lot of people might think that's crazy, but to me, I think he's the closest thing to Mike. Yeah. And when we get to center, you'll see why. Small forward, LeBron James. Once again, best leader on the court. And I think that when you see the other two guys that I named, you'll see that they would allow him to be the leader that he needs to be. Power forward, Tim Duncan. Nick, I agree with every sentiment you had on Tim Duncan. The man is amazing. It might not be complex or complicated, but it's beautiful that he gets it done. And then at center, Shaquille O'Neal, restoring arguably the most dominant top two punch in NBA history, Kobe and Shaq, putting Kobe and Shaq on the court with LeBron, Tim Duncan, and Chris Paul. To me, that is the greatest starting five of all time. Nobody will beat them.
I like that lineup, but I have to beg to differ about Chris Paul.
Where's Wilt?
You know I love Wilt, but I
was waiting for that.
That's a different conversation. If we want to talk about numbers, I'm going to put Wilt in there. But we're talking Tim Duncan, maybe the best defensive anchor in NBA history. And we never got to see him. David Robinson was great, but he was past his prime. We didn't get to see him with a really dominant center. Imagine him and Shaquille O'Neal together on the court. Oh, my Lord.
Well, the story. You know the story. Tim Duncan almost teamed up with T-Mac in Orlando.
Yeah.
Right.
That would have been a crazy 1-2 punch. They might have won a couple championships together.
Yeah.
If he could have stayed healthy.
That was a good look. But fellas, the reason why I had my old school guys, and I love what you guys did, but I think them old school guys, because they play old school basketball, and they ain't gonna exert a lot of energy, they're gonna get up and down the court the right way, and especially when it's time to score. Right now, it's interesting because nobody on our list really had a 3-point shooter on that bad boy.
Oh, we did.
No.
I did. I consider Kobe a three-point shooter. Chris Paul
He's
a
a-
three-point shooter.
He's a three-point
He stretched
chucker.
the
I don't know
floor.
if he's a shooter.
No, he's a 3-point chucker. Thank you, Matt.
All right.
He's
He's
Kobe
done
can
a
go
lot of
nuts and chuck.
chucking.
But it's just interesting
Fair
that
enough.
none of us has a 3-point cat on the team, because I think if we're thinking about this, we're thinking about guys who don't mind going in the hole, who don't mind, playing that rough. Because like you said, that rough style of basketball, okay, to go down deep, because you're going to need Kareem to go against Shaq. Okay, you're going to need Bill Russell, all of Bill Russell, to go against a LeBron or a Timmy Duncan. See, so I'm just saying, there's nobody like I'm coming out and chucking up right away. They're going to set up the offense.
That Hakeem Kareem matchup is a dream.
I'm telling you.
Pun intended, but like that would be a dream matchup to witness. Hakeem and Kareem in their primes going toe to toe. Both great two-way players. Both magnificent moves. The unstoppable skyhook. The unstoppable dream shake. It would just be magnificent basketball.
And I'm so glad that the NBA now is going back to centers, to having some good centers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I think at the end of the day, the basketball has a disservice without having that big man really in the middle, the stopper. Okay, so I'm just glad to see them trying to draft some big fellas from to go out there and do their thing. But I love your list, gentlemen. I couldn't argue with any of you. I couldn't argue with none of this.
Hey, Nate,
me.
Nate, let me give you a name from your era that I would have picked at shooting guard if we had to go by your era. Give me Hal Greer from the 76ers.
What? Hal Greer was nasty.
Yeah.
Hal Greer was no Kobe Bryant.
No, but listen.
I would put one man to stop Michael
The only
Jordan,
reason
that's it.
why I didn't pick this guy, and he went to my high school, and he's the only man under 6 feet to lead the league in scoring and assists, Nate Tiny Archibald.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
See,
he's
so
another one.
Nate
What gets
Tiny
me about our
Archibald.
list, guys, also is that it shows that you don't need to be the best three-point shooter. If you can do
That's what I'm
everything
saying.
else and play good team basketball and score from anywhere else on the court, doesn't really matter that much. It's almost
If you got
boring watching
5
these three-point
creators,
shooters.
you got 5 creators of an offense on one team. That's what we all picked. We all picked 5 creators and 5 pretty damn good defenders too.
And I was gonna tell Ryan, one of the first guys off my bench, my 6th man, is the incomparable Bobby Jones.
Oh, we're putting a 6-man out there now.
I'm
That's
just saying,
a
if I have to get a
whole
6
variable.
man, Bobby Jones from Philly. See, people was slept on Bobby Jones. North Carolina, 6'9". Yo, Bobby Jones could get it. Because when they had that Philly squad with Andrew Toney, Bobby Jones, Dr. J, and 454 Moses.
Oh, Moses Malone, yeah.
This is what
He's
I'm trying
so
to tell you.
underrated,
Bobby
man.
Jones, it's so many. It's 75 years of NBA basketball, gentlemen. We just racked our brains with just 15 people, but it's so many, man. It's so many people.
If you want to give me a 6-man, you give me the Iceman. Give me
Oh,
George Gervin.
George Gervin cometh. Who's your 6-man, Ryan?
If I had to put a 6-man out there, and we're talking an actual 6-man by profession, or any
okay.
player we want as a 6-man.
Any player.
Michael
Any
Jordan.
player.
Michael Jordan. no
Jordan
doubt.
to be a 6-man off the bench. That ain't
I mean,
even
come on.
right. That ain't even
If I-
right, Ryan.
You can
And,
give
you
me
know,
Steph too, so I do have a shooter.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
there we
Steph
go.
off the bench.
This is our chance, though, to get the fans involved. Go to our Instagram page, what's going on _Fox Sports. Go to our TikTok page. Mac has a poppin' TikTok. What is it, Mac Daddy NBA?
Mac Daddy NBA,
Well, go to
13,000
Mac
strong.
Daddy's
Let's go.
TikTok, man, and see
Go
Mac
to-
ticking and talking.
And that'll lead you to our TikTok because it hasn't been created. But by the time you're listening to this broadcast, which is in about, what are we at, like a 20-second delay, it's going to be there, Nate. It's going to be there. So go to our, look up what's going on TikTok, and we will pop up Mac Daddy on TikTok. Let us know who has the best starting 5 of the 3 of us. Let us know in the comments.
I like it. I like
Absolutely.
it. Now, Mac, what are some of the other things you do in terms of your writing with the NBA?
So I work for FadeawayWorld.net. Shout out to everybody over at Fadeaway World. I've been there a few months now. Shout out to Nemanja, Titan, Eddie, Kyle. Great team over there. But really, my goal has been to talk about the stuff that doesn't get talked about anymore, the stuff that's kind of been lost throughout NBA history. Like I did an article about the greatest shooting guard from every team ever, greatest shooting guard in every team's history the other day. And it was a big article, and I've done it for point guards. I'm going to be doing it for every position.
Mhm.
I'll probably do a sixth man article too.
Yeah, do a 6-man article. That'd be fun.
Yeah, so you could write about anything, but what I try to do is I want to bring stuff to light that has kind of been lost. This day and age, you guys know you're in the media business. There seems to be this thing where we have to tear somebody down to prove that this player is better. Like the GOAT debate, for example. I don't talk about the GOAT debate anymore because it's all about tearing down LeBron to make Mike look better or tearing down Mike to make LeBron look better. The Kobe disrespect has gotten way out of hand on social media. So I just try to look at everything without bringing up the negative, and try to address the things, like I said, that have been lost over time because I think there's just too much disrespect for the ones that have paved the way. Without these guys, we don't have the league we have now.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because one of my guys who I had the great opportunity to work with is Spencer Haywood. So you got to write an article. You got to write it because I can give you his number if you want it.
Oh, I just named him the most underrated player of the 1970s.
Because I'm telling you, man. But you got to do an article on Spencer. Spencer, if it wasn't for him challenging the NBA on that no rule, got to go to college 4 years, he's like, dude, get out of here. And he challenged David Stern, and they won. Okay, he paved the way. And they don't give him, like you said, Mac, the respect because he was a Kurt Flood of basketball.
Yeah,
because Kurt Flood did it in baseball. You need that one guy to fall on the sword and say, you know what, whatever, Colin Kaepernick, like whatever happens, it's gonna happen to me, but I gotta make a statement. Spencer was that man, Mac.
No, I know. I actually just did. I named him my most underrated player of the 1970s. I did the 10 most underrated players of the 60s, and then I did the 70s, and I named Spencer Haywood number 1.
Great job, man. Because Spencer, I'm telling you, dude was from Silver something,
he
Mississippi.
Was a beast.
His mom and them was still picking cotton and shit like that in the 1940s. It was incredible. His story. I'm telling you, the dude ended up marrying Imam, the model. That was David Bowie's ex-wife, but he married her first. Yep, Spencer married her first, and then he was like a jazz DJ in the city when he was in New York playing for the Knicks. Then he found Islam. Spencer got a story, y'all. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
And I believe he has a big thing to do with the Former Players Association. I think he's the president of the Former Players Association, and his son played in the league, Brendan Haywood.
Yeah, so Spencer's a good dude, man.
I would love to talk to him. I'd love to pick his brain.
Well, I got his number for you, so I'll give it to Ryan. I'll give it to you, but I talk to Spencer all the time. Just a good dude, man.
He's a great man. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of some of the stuff he's done. I did a lot of research on him, and that is definitely a name we could take a couple minutes to talk about because
man. So we got to take a quick break, and Mac, you got to come back, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to be like a regular, because we got infamous Amadeus. He's a regular. Mac Man gonna be a regular, so we're gonna make it happen.
1,000%. Let's do it. I'm down to talk basketball 24/7. So,
all right,
Avengers of sports talk.
Huh?
We're like the Avengers of sports talk, underground sports talk radio.
That's what we do, man. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come.